In the present universe, we have no choice but to be beings. Being present, meaning here, now, alive, current, existent, however lost or partly completed. Many could digress that all presence is a fundamental inquisition realised. Yet, the only true question is, what is actually real? What it is something that cannot be answered in honest truth, because there's a million fucking smartasses out there babbling on what they perceive as real, but if someone tells you what is real, then it can't be, because real is intrinsic and self-deliberated. By all means, listen and evaluate, but the only true reality is a concept of perception realised, true or false, from the self. A proper smartass worth his or her salt will often say that the meaning of life and reality is working it out, subliminally or philosophically. A philosopher, being someone who thinks, debates and argues and realises what the fuck is life actually, and anyone else also thinks, debates and argues and realises what the fuck they must do from day to day, birth till death actually. So, a philosopher is just like anyone else, only they act with intent, realising through realising. With all the social pretensions and personal fears extinguished and ejaculated, the fundamental Q&A of what is life in reality is detrimental to what the fuck we get out of life. Yet without prejudice and or preference, the whole world wants just one thing. One realistic realism, one simple scripture. Simply, everyone wants to be comfortable, straight. However, one person's comfort is another's anxiety. For instance, some folks these days, or most people actually, maybe 99% of the global population, want to be part of their status quo, literally supporting their community, to work in some job or position, however shite, and suck their master's cock, metaphorically of course, and pay their way through taxes and custom. Yet to the 1%er, this is literally hell, metaphoric or not. So the reality of this apparent situation is creating politics, creating inequality, hence deprivation, creating hell for the majority of the 99%. Do the math. So, this division of the presential population splits three ways: the deprived, the deprivers and the pissed off. If everyone's pissed off, however unidealistic, then there would be a presence and awareness of what shouldn't be, because people would give a fuck when asked what the, realising no division causating social inequality. Unfortunately, the 1% pissed are particular yet powerless, the deprived are particularly powerless, and the deprivers are just a bunch of cunts with particular preference to ply and pilfer, who wouldn't even know if their own mother was being fucked by the neighbour, and or if they did, then they would sublime it and then abuse some other fucker one day thinking it's only normal. Or not. The harsh reality is particular, which gives reasons for separation. If being voluntary, then it should not be causatively destructive. However, involuntary, it deprives the deprived of choice, making them even dumber and increasingly incoherent, self-mutilized. The solution is not divisional. Obviously, a solution needs an opposite polarity to the problem. However, the solution is the same, however different. The solution of a false reality is another reality true. Not true to your particular fancy or perception, but true to factual authenticity. The reality of real, for example, is most workers actually think their tax goes to support the community and nourish it, and not war and manipulation. However ignorant, obviously this is factual undebatable, but it does squelch anxiety, which in realistic and simple math is the causation to the perpetration producing pathetic populations. Sadly, it would be counterproductive to beat the reality out of someone, and although it's possible to karmatically revive them through torture, it really does. But the fatality of our shared deliberation is here and now. Speculation might be comforting for some, but the reality for collective comfort is one thing, and one thing only: actual reality. In other words, educated perception and unfragmented truth. Bona fide phenomenon.
Безобразное сердце мое плачет, рыдает.